Welcome to Quilting Color. My name is Shalina. Today I'm going to continue to work on my ever-changing quilt. It's a quilt that will be able to be changed even after it's made. In our last video I made a very big mistake in that I set the quilt on point, and that does not help how it looks, and we made a plan on how to fix that. So today I'm going to fix that, and we'll see how much progress I can make today in my 15 minutes to quilt. I encourage you to join me and sew along with me, and if you do, you can just let me know what you're working on and you can enter to win prizes. And don't forget to listen for the sacred word of today. Come join me and let's watch this ever-changing quilt come to life. In the last video, I realized that putting this block on point was not going to work with the plan that I had in mind. You can see this is a different look to the quilt than it would be if it was with the flaps down. Okay, so now the problem is that I was looking at this quilt differently. I was looking at these flaps. Guess I was thinking about this in the corner this way, but now that I'll set it on point, it doesn't work like that. So I made new side setting triangles to put my on point quilt back on point again. And I also trimmed off the excess parts of my quilt. So now it's a matter of adding the side setting triangles onto the quilt top. So meet me at the sewing machine. while we're pressing, I wanted to let you know that the secret word for today is steam. Do you use steam in your pressing? Trim off more dog ears. Okay, so the first layer is completely done, and now we can add some more triangles into the corners. And my plan was to put them pretty close to the end here so that these flaps would not be too far in, but I think, so probably I think this is a best place to put it here into, so that it would match this. The buttonhole would be around here. Let's see, make sure you can see the whole thing here. So if we make these triangles match each other a little bit, they don't have to be perfect, but I think if it would be nice to make them here. And so I can cut, and it really, this to me here doesn't really matter how far away the quilt, the little corner is here, because it's probably better to leave as much room as possible so it doesn't cause any problems when I'm binding it or finishing it in whatever way I do. And then this will also look just fine in this other direction. So now I have to think here. If I cut this right here, do I need to take the seam allowance into consideration? I don't think so. Because if I cut it right here, the seam allowance for both these pieces will be the same. So if the seam would be here. There's geese. There's geese outside. So this, I think I can cut right here on this line. And then the seam allowance will be, make both of the pieces, this piece and this piece, smaller. So I don't think that I need to take the seam allowance into consideration on this part. And if it winds up being a little bit smaller or a little bit more, like if it goes this way or this way, I think it'll be fine either way. But my plan is to try to get it to be here. Actually, there's a way we can test this, right? So let me grab a pin. So my idea is that if I just cut straight here on this line and sew it here on this line, this will make this part smaller, which means that I'll have to trim it, which is a little scary, but there's plenty of room here for that kind of trimming. And so it'll look like this, and then it'll look like this. So yeah, I think that will work. Like this or like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these. So now I need to cut these so that I can sew in these little corner pieces. So I'll meet you at the cutting table. Okay, so here we are at the cutting table. You can see that it's really close to the ironing table, and I still haven't found the optimal setting here for this, but we'll get through it eventually. I'll have to do another problem-solving day to figure that part out. So now I'm just going to cut. I'm lining this corner triangle into this, match this, trying to keep this all in a straight line. I think it is. Over. I think it's close enough to a straight line. And so now I can just go ahead and cut this over here. Okay. And I can sew it either to this triangle or this triangle. Either way will work. And I can either do them together, I can actually do them all together at the same time. I can just sew all of these together, but I'd rather do them one at a time just to make sure. I'm going to go ahead and baste this like I did before, and then add the corner triangle afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and pin this down so it stays in place. And go ahead and do all 4 corners that way, and I'll be ready. And just in case that these triangles are different, I think I'm going to go ahead and just place this here also, just so that I won't miss it. Okay. So the red goes this way in the corner. It lines up with this line as close as I can get it to be. I think this is right. Okay. And then I can cut this corner off. Okay. It's important that I sew this exactly where it is. This one I'm going to match up afterwards, but I'm going to go ahead and pin these down so that I can keep them set. Let's do this one. Some of these corners are not poked out as much as they could be. I thought that I had tried. It's close enough, I think. Okay. This is a straight line, so this goes here. And then the corner gets cut off, like so. Oops. Got this at an angle, that's not good. I think this should be okay. I'm going to just cut. Yeah, this looks okay. That's weird. You can see that this line is quite right, and this is right down here. Let me show you. So I'm comparing this because of my problem that I just had with the fabric, and it looks like this is still fine. It's kind of weird, but it'll work. And so I'm going to go ahead and pin these pieces together. And last one. Keeps disappearing, but it is here somewhere. Okay, it fell on the floor. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm matching up the point here to this line, making sure that this line is as straight as I can get it to be. Here, so moving this triangle so that it matches up the ruler line. Like this. Make sure that this point is pointing to each other. This line is straight, and this fabric is straight. And then I can go ahead and trim this corner off. Okay. Now I'm going to baste this in to this yellow fabric, and then once I'm done basting it, then I can sew this little corner piece back on here. And then once I'm done, this will be a little smaller than the rest, but then I can trim this to match the resulting corner. I hope you enjoyed watching me make progress on this quilt, and I hope that you got a chance to sew along with me today as well. Let me know what you're working on today so you can enter to win prizes. Just let me know in the comments what you worked on today, and you'll get an entry in the drawing. Another way to get the entry is to use the secret word of the day. 2 winners will win the quilt journal, which will help you document your special quilt. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of your support, and I hope to see you again in the next video.